Hello and welcome to the show This Abroad Life. So this show is all about giving information about what's the current situation of life abroad, so that if you are planning to come and study abroad, then you can get an idea of what's going on over here, and who are already abroad, then you will get an understanding of what are the things you might need to do to adjust and cope with the current or future situation. Let's go into today's topic, and it is, do I need to do the tax return myself, or do I need to go to a tax agent? So first of all, for everyone who is new about tax, tax here in Australia is a deduction from your salary, so that it gets accumulated over time, and you can lodge for the return of your tax at the end of the financial year. The financial year is from 1 July to 30 June, and so after 30 June you need to do your tax return, and usually it's due by 31st October. You can do your tax return in two ways, either yourself or going to a tax agent. There are both advantages and disadvantages of doing yourself or going to the tax agent. I'm here to give my insight about what's the best for you, so that you can decide accordingly. So let's talk about doing yourself first. If you want to do your tax return yourself, then you need to create a MyGov account, then link MyGov account with your ATO account. So if you just search in Google about how to do a tax lodge myself, then you will get all the information. I will also post the links in the description below, so that you guys can just click in the link and go to the site directly. If you are planning to do the tax return yourself, then you should do it by 31st October, which is the due date if you are doing yourself. So now let's go to the advantages of doing yourself. So if you are doing yourself, then one of the biggest advantages is that you will be saving money, because usually it takes around $60 to $70 if you are going to a tax agent to lodge the tax. That's the first advantage of doing yourself. And the second advantage is that you get the satisfaction of doing yourself, because in this age of technology, you can do a lot of things yourself, and if you can save money, you can get the satisfaction of doing. And the third advantage of doing yourself is you can do it where and when you want, just the flexibility of it. Now let's go to the disadvantage of doing a tax return yourself. Doing a tax return takes a lot of research. The first disadvantage, you don't know what you can claim and what you cannot claim. It leads to a difficult situation where you might or you will make a mistake. If you make a mistake, then the result of the mistakes might be costly, as you might have to pay to the ATO again if you make some mistakes. If you feel like you have prepared enough, and you put all the things to the right places, there is always a fear whether you did it right or wrong. Even though you did lots of research, it's always a difficult task. And another thing is, it's due by 31st October. So if you are doing it yourself, then the due date for the tax return is by 31st October. So these are the disadvantages. Now let's talk about if you did your tax return by going to a tax agent. So tax agents are normally people who are like accountants, and after the end of financial year, they set up a shop, usually around supermarkets, or you can also go to their offices to do the tax return. Let's dive deep into the advantages of going to a tax agent. One of the biggest advantages is that they are the professionals in those fields, so we don't need to worry about whether they did right or wrong, because they basically know what they are doing. And the second thing is that they also helps us to maximize our tax return, which is a good thing because you might forget which things you are eligible to claim for your tax. And the last advantage is that if you are using a tax agent, then they have like more period of time than individual for the tax return. These are the advantages of doing by a tax agent. Now let's go to the disadvantage of going to a tax agent. So the first disadvantage is obviously you need to pay money. It ranges from 50 to 100, but usually it's around 60 to $70 to do a tax return. And the another but not that much of a big disadvantage is that you might not get the satisfaction of doing it yourself because you paid someone to do it. And the third disadvantage is that most of the tax agents are like busy because everyone is planning to do their tax return. So it's a busy period for them. And even though you filled in all the details, but they might not be able to lodge your tax return on the same day. So you might face the delay, and you might not get your money returned on time. That's why these are the three disadvantages of if you went to a tax agent. Based upon my experience and my opinion about whether or not to do the tax return yourself is, if I was given the opportunity, then I would go to a tax agent. And the main reason is because they are like professionals, and we don't need to worry about anything. And if you are business, then you certainly need to go to a tax agent because there are a lot of complex things that gets involved in a business. However, if there are not more complexities in your payment, then you might be able to do it yourself. Depending upon your personality, using an accountant may relieve some of that stress and pressure. However, even though you did it or the tax agent did it, your tax return, you're still responsible for your return no matter what, because if you did it yourself, then it's obvious that you did it yourself. But if you went through a tax agent, then you have signed at the end, you're still responsible for no matter what. Having said that, that's the end of my show for today, so keep tuned.